Good evening, and welcome in to this special FNN Sports Report. I'm Jay Skapanek, and I stress the word sports because on tonight's show, that is exactly what we're going to be talking about, rather than pontificating about social matters and public health concerns. Seems odd to me, but here we go. The NBA has established a special invitational event in Orlando, Florida. With more on the favorites, we go live to Disney World and check in with special FNN correspondent Andrew Nerdley. And for more on the gambling perspective, we also welcome in nationally renowned sports handicapper Mr. Big D. Gentlemen, thanks for joining us. Yes, and thank you, Jay. Yo, what's up, Degenerate Nation? Well, Andrew, let's begin at the top with the team that many feel to be the outright favorite of this entire event, the Los Angeles Lakers. Well, Jay, LeBron has been to many finals in his career. However, despite his mythological powers and vast array of all-star teammates, he's only won 3 out of his 9 appearances. Now, I wouldn't dare think of blaming or criticizing LeBron for those losses. No, of course not. Also, fewer days off in between games and series in this truncated format could prove problematic for an aging team. So, Mr. Big D, Vegas says LeBron is the betting favorite in this field. What do you say? I would bet more money on Joe Biden completing a full sentence than I would on LeBron James winning an NBA championship.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing.
LeChoke James's teams have been plus or minus 5 points in the last 4 minutes of 25 of his 49 NBA Finals games. And LeDag is shooting only 32% in those games, while his teams are just 11 and 14 overall in those 25 contests. The only losers betting the Lakers at plus 240 currently are pathetic fake news journalists wearing LeBron panties during their telecasts and 25-year-old butt smears living in their parents' basements. I'm not wearing LeBron panties. At least not today. Okay, so neither of you like the Lakers. What about the next largest betting favorite in this field, the Milwaukee Bucks? Well, Jay, just to clarify, even if I don't like the Lakers, I do love LeBron. But speaking of the Milwaukee Bucks, they have been sneakily, historically great this year. Their 11.29 point differential ranks 5th best in NBA history, and the other 4 teams above them on that list all went on to win the championship those years. They also have Giannis Antetokounmpo, who is leading the NBA this year in both PER and defensive win shares, en route to what will likely be his 2nd consecutive MVP award and the Defensive Player of the Year award. But LeBron is still clearly the best player in the NBA. Oh, of course, LeBron, the king, chosen one. Oh, LeBron! Give it a rest, you two! LeBron isn't even the best player on his own team this year. But speaking of LeBron, the Greek freak might very well take the bitch-ass loser LeBron James super team path in free agency if the Bucks don't get it done this year or next. So what I'm saying is, there's plenty of implications and ramifications. There's a lot of Asians on this one, Degenerate Nation. So Mr. Big D suggests that you take a good, long look at the Milwaukee Bucks at plus 260. All right, Andrew, well, how do you see the rest of the field playing out at the top? Are there any other teams worth mentioning? Well, Jay, the Clippers go without mentioning, as they are somewhat of a co-favorite, along with the Bucks and Lakers. But the team that I find most interesting is the Boston Celtics, with that young, deep lineup. Well, I'm almost afraid to ask, but Mr. Big D, what do you think? Mr. Big D. I thought you never asked Scampinizzle, and your man Mr. Big D has to cool off. Because the idea of getting the Clippers at plus 320 has your man wetter than Sean Miller's shirt down the stretch of an important match 30 game. Call it 4 A-plants on the Mr. Big D big board. And also, the idea of getting the Rockets at plus 18 hundo has your man Mr. Big D aroused. Now I know what you're thinking, but Mr. Big D, it's more likely that little game James Hadden will appear on the side of a milk carton than on an NBA Finals court in June. But hold it right there, degenerate nation, not so fast, because the NBA Finals this year will be played in October, and little game James thrives in the autumnal months. Plus, there ain't no strip clubs in the Disney bubble, and if there are, your man Mr. Big D will sniff them out. So breaking news, degenerate nation, you heard it here first. Plenty of good betting options in this field, so sit back and kick back with some Corona. But when betting your hard-earned stimulus checks on the NBA Invitational, make sure that you don't bet it on that bald-ass loser, special ambassador to China.
Not 5, not 6, not 7.
Taco Tuesday.
Weird. Seems like some kind of a technical error there. But that certainly feels like all the time we have for tonight's show. This might be an appropriate time, though, to remind our viewers that our network is not responsible for the claims, content, or representation of any of our guests. Many thanks for joining us on this special report. Stay tuned for more updates. Until then, I'm Jace Kapanek. Good night. Good night, LeBron. I love you.